So another question that you might be having is, what should you put on your landing page? Now, we're not going to dive into web design or making the landing page look nice right now. We're going to do that later. Right now, we're actually going to look at the concepts and what exactly you need to put together for the landing page. All you will learn in this tutorial is how you can easily understand landing page creation, how you can start from scratch and put it all together, so you can do this quickly and easily as you do more of them. So what we're going to do now is we're going to open the program that we had talked about previously in other tutorials called NVU, which is a WYSIWYG, which you see is what you get, web editing tool. We're going to open that up here. And as we have this open, all we're going to do is type the concepts, the headlines, the bullet points, and the main things that need to be on a landing page right in here. You don't need to make it look nice, and we'll do that later down the road. Okay, so if you open up the NVU program, as you can see here, and the first thing that you will need is a headline. The headline's very important because it is used to pull the reader in to actually really want to read your landing page. So the first thing we'll just type in here. You can follow this as we go along. You can type in the headline. Now there's one tip here. If you can't think of any good headlines and you need to direct access to high converting headlines, there's one recommended program called Danlock's Instant Cache Copy Software, and you'll find a link right below this video where you can find that software. Now that software actually holds tons and tons of headlines, openings, bullets, power words, and a lot more that you can add to your sales copy as we're doing now. So it's very easy to grab headlines there and just fill in the blanks so that you have a good headline, and you can tweak that headline, but it gives you a starting point. That way you don't have to sit here, think for a while and wonder what to put on your headline. So the first thing is a headline, and the second thing is bullet points. Now the bullet points are going to contain things like, what are your freebie offers? What are you offering to the user? Benefits that your freebie offer has that can solve the reader's problems and improve their lives. So we have bullet points here. And of course, since this is a landing page, it doesn't need to be having a long sales copy. It can be short. But it needs to have a good amount of information so that the visitor knows what they're going into. A third option here would be an optional picture. So you can include a picture of your freebie, whether it be an e-cover or just any image. And in this case, we had that German Shepherd puppy picture that we chose earlier, and we're going to use that as the optional picture. And the fourth thing we can use is a call to action, just to tell the user, grab it now kind of deal. And we'll go in depth into that momentarily. And the fifth thing you need is the opt-in form. And we're going to use aweber.com as we mentioned earlier, and we'll work on that later. And then, of course, lastly, you have the closing, which is just sincerely whatever your name or anything like that. So, as you can see here, it's fairly simple. You got your headline, bullet points, which can include your description, an optional picture, call to action to tell them to sign up for your list or grab that freebie to opt into the forum, and then your closing. So if you can go ahead and type all these just so you can have that listed. Okay, so now that you have all of these typed up, you want to go back to the headline. So one of the headlines that I found and I tweaked was this one. So stop your German Shepherd's bad behaviors while it's happening, not just after it's happened. Now you can learn these training secrets for free. Now you got an actual report that they're going to download for free, and that captures their attention right there. So as you can see, the headline addresses a problem of the German Shepherd's bad behavior, and then the solution is to stop it by learning these training secrets for free. So now that you've captured the person, you can actually go into the bullet points. And of course, if you don't know where to start for the bullet points, you can also use Dan Lok's instant cache copy software as well, and it's very useful. I'd highly recommend it. So the bullet points that I have here are the following. So within about 5 minutes time, I was able to come up with these bullet points using that starting point method. So it has 6 facts you must know about your German Shepherd's behavior. Avoid doing what you hate and spending more time growing your relationship with your German Shepherd dog, which is what a GSD is. So make your GSD obey your commands and love it. Discover the best way to train your GSD regardless of age. And you want to make the bullet points so that it fulfills somebody's needs and the problems that they have, but at the same time you want to make sure that it's something that's included in your report itself. Alright, so the third thing we need is an optional picture. So I'm going to use that picture that I chose earlier about the German Shepherd puppies. So what I'll do here is the optional picture. You'll notice that there's an image icon here. I'll simply click this link or button here, click on choose file, look for the file that I have, so you can actually see an image preview here, and that's the great thing about NVU here, is that it allows you to see that. Now one thing to mention is that it's always good to have the image location linking to the file name itself, and we'll show you the reason why later. Okay, great, so we've inserted the optional picture of the German Shepherd puppies here, and as you can see it's quite big. So what we'll need to do is shrink it down, and NVU actually has a way that you can just resize the picture, or you can resize it in Adobe Photoshop or any other picture program. So we'll go ahead and resize it here just to make it smaller. We can always work on it later. Okay, so we've got the optional picture done. We'll move on to the call to action. So what a call to action is basically it tells the readers, okay, grab this now, or download this product now, or grab this free report now, but you need to make it relate sort of to your headline or something of your theme. So in this case, we could do something like, okay, start training your German Shepherd correctly, blah, 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 and download this copy of this free report right now. So we'll reword that to something like this. So we have start training your German Shepherd correctly and learn how by downloading a copy of this free report now. And of course you can bold it, you can highlight whatever you want, bold it, underline it, italicize it. So if you're used to using Microsoft Word or something like that, then you can simply just highlight whatever you want, center it, left align, right align, change the font if you like, add it to a link, this and that. But this call to action is merely just a way of saying grab this free report right now. So the next thing we need is an opt-in form. Now I'm not actually going to do the opt-in form because in the next video we're actually going to show you how to create a list using Aweber, and in that video what you're going to do is you're going to actually create a web form in that video. In the video after that we're going to actually put the opt-in form in the landing page material all together, and we're going to make it nice. So we'll leave that to later. And of course the closing can be something like, I look forward to seeing you on the inside, to your success. You can put your name. So if we go back to the top, you got your headline, you got your bullet points, and of course you can add stuff like an introduction, like dear friend, Are you frustrated? You know, you can name all the problems that somebody has. Are you frustrated and tired of dealing with your German Shepherds' bad behaviors? And you can start listing a few questions here if you like, but I mean, it's merely, you can start adding stuff to it, and we can do that later. But mainly this is pretty much your landing page. You got your headline, bullet points, an optional picture, e-cover, call to action, and an opt-in form and closing. So now that you have gotten this down, what you want to do is you want to save the file. Now earlier, you know how I chose the image picture, right? You want to make sure that your image and your index.html file, which is basically a web page file that NVU produces, and by default all web browsers will read index.html files by default. Meaning that if you go to, let's say you upload this index.html file to your website, www.yourdomain.com, then it's going to automatically read that file right away. So just save it as, and make sure that you save the file located with that picture right here, so that I can actually show the picture. Okay, so now that that's done, we can actually talk about the confirmation page. Now, confirmation is pretty important. What this does is it just tells the user a thank you for subscribing. And sometimes you can add stuff like confirming, okay, you subscribed, but in order to grab the freebie onto this double opt-in list, you need to do this next. Or you need to check your email and click the confirmation link so that you can download your freebie. Now, the confirmation page is merely optional, but it's highly recommended to have that so that the user knows what to do next. And of course, lastly, you have the download page. The download page allows your users to download whatever freebie that you gave them. Now, a few hints to remember is on the landing page itself, you should not link to any outside websites. You want to keep the user's focus on your web page. So now that you know how to set up a simple landing page, let's go ahead and go to setting up a list so that we can fulfill this opt-in form area.